So today we are making s'mores cookies, and we're going to start with a cup of butter. And this butter's been sitting out on the counter for a few hours to get it soft. Next we'll need a cup of brown sugar. You want to make sure that you pack it down into the cup. Alright, then next we will need a half a cup of white sugar. And then we will just put it in the KitchenAid. And we'll turn it on for 3 to 4 minutes until the sugar and butter is all creamed together. Okay, so we've got it nice and creamed. I'm just going to scrape the sides off the bowl. This beater has a little scraper on the side, but it doesn't quite get exactly to the edge of the bowl. It kind of just smashes it to the side. Okay, so next we will add 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. Right, so we will just mix it again, just for a minute or so, till the eggs are combined. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like now. It's a little bit more goopy, and next we're going to add in the dry ingredients. So, to do that, let's get started with the graham crackers first. So, for the cookies, I use 3½ of the graham cracker sheets and crush them into crumbs. And the other piece is going to be used as to sprinkle on the top. So I just kind of put it in a Ziploc bag, smash them up, and then I get my rolling pin and I crush it into fine crumbs. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like, if you can tell. So we'll pour those into the batter here in just a second. With this other one, while I've got it here, I'm just going to kind of break it into smaller chunks. And this is going to be to sprinkle on top of the cookies at the end. So we'll just set that aside. Okay, so next we'll add our flour and cornstarch, baking soda, and salt. So I have this vintage, I guess, little measuring cup, and I really, really love it. It measures 2 cups of flour, and it has a sifter in the bottom. And so you can just measure, you need 3 cups for this recipe, so we'll measure in 2. And you can just sift it right into the mixture. Now when I get some of it gone, this is where I'll add in the other dry ingredients. So we need baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon. And I just put it right into with the flour, and then it will sift in and mix in really well, and the cookies will work great. We also need a teaspoon of cornstarch, a teaspoon of salt. Put all of those right into the flour. Then when you sift it, it will mix in together Lots of recipes will have you put the flour, soda, salt, all that into a separate bowl and mix it. I don't like washing that extra bowl, so I just do it right here in the sifter. And I just store this in my flour. So there we have 2 cups, and then we'll add a 3rd cup of flour. And I'm just going to fill it up. Just going to fill it up to this line right here, and then there's 1 cup for a total of 3. Okay, and then we will turn this on and mix it again. Just until the flour is combined. Okay, so I just realized I did not put the graham crackers in, and then I put them in, thought I was recording and I wasn't, but I did add the graham crackers into the dough. And then you're going to put in a cup of chocolate chips. And I've got here 8 little mini Hershey's bars. They're just these little small ones. And we're just going to chop them into just chunks. Just quickly break them. And then we'll just do a rough chop and add those in to the cookie dough. So we will just add that in. And we'll just give it one more quick stir just to combine the chocolate, and then we'll be ready to make the cookies. So I have a greased cookie sheet here, and let's remove that. Okay, so I just like to take a ice cream scoop like this, and I'll just grab a scoop, overflow a little bit, and then just place it down on the cookie sheet. Just my favorite way to do them. They come out fairly the same in size. Okay, so we will pop these in a 400-degree oven for 7 to 9 minutes. And while they're cooking, we'll just prep a few things. Okay, so we have our graham crackers that we crushed. This is just about half a sheet. And you can do more if you like lots of graham crackers. If you don't, that's fine. And I also like to top the cookies with another piece of Hershey's. So I'll just break these up into little pieces, and I'll put one of those on each cookie. So this recipe makes about 2 dozen cookies, maybe a little more. So you can, if you want to buy like a package like this that has 12, I would maybe save at least 6 of them for the topping and use the other 6 inside the batter. But if you have a bigger bag like this, then, just use as much chocolate as you want inside the batter. So I'm going to do 6, and then we'll see if there's more cookies, then I can break up some more. So another thing we want to do is get our marshmallow fluff open. It's a little challenging sometimes. There we go. Then you have that ready to go. Then you're also going to want a spoon of some kind. You could use, this one's like a jam spoon, so it has kind of a different shape, but I like it to create a little indent in the cookies. Or you could use the back of your cookie scoop. You just need something to create an indentation in the cookie. Okay, so here are the cookies, just out of the oven. You want to make sure that the edges are just starting to brown, but you don't want to overcook them. So my oven, it took about 9 minutes this time. And while they're still warm, like right after you get them out, you want to take your little spoon and create a little indentation. And this is where we're going to put the marshmallow cream. And it will kind of flatten out the cookie a little bit and give it a nice place to hold the marshmallow. Okay, and then I'm just going to let that sit for about 2 minutes on the pan, and then I'll transfer it to a cookie sheet or a cooling rack, and then we'll add the marshmallow cream. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the cookies and put them on this cooling rack now. And the reason you want to wait a little bit is just so that they're not so hot that they start falling apart as you transfer them. And also, I kind of like to underbake the cookies just slightly and then let them cook just a little longer on the pan. So now, I'll grab a spoon, actually 2 spoons. So I'm just going to add a scoop of the marshmallow cream to each cookie. So you don't want much more than that on your spoon, just because it will fall all outside of the cookie if you get too much. That might be a little too much too, anyway, but. And yeah, I use 2 spoons because it's super sticky, and just use one to scoop it out and the other one to scrape it off the spoon. And as it sits here on these warm cookies, they've only been out for 2 minutes, it will just melt the marshmallow just enough to make it all kind of smooth out the top. And I think I'm getting probably a little too much marshmallow, but marshmallow's yummy, right? It just sometimes makes a mess if it falls off the side. The reason I made these cookies the first time, I didn't find a recipe that was exactly what I wanted, but my husband loves these cookies from Crumble. They're, of course, much larger, but they have like the marshmallow cream on top like this. So that's what I was going for, is kind of a smaller version of that. Okay, so then the last thing is I just stick a little Hershey's piece in each cookie, just right in the marshmallow. And then we'll add some graham cracker crumbs. So just maybe a big piece and then some crumbs. You can kind of crush them as you go. You want to do it while the cookie's warm, while the marshmallow's warm. Just helps it stick a little bit. And then you can eat them warm, which is super yummy. But if you want to be a little less messy, you should let them cool a little bit.